As we get set for tip-off, I'm Robbie Mikowski, joined by Mountaineer head coach Bob Huggins. Bob, this Nicholls team took Illinois to overtime. They beat Pitt. Why might they give you a big challenge this afternoon?
Well, they can make shots. I mean, anybody can make shots. They're going to press. They do a great job. They're creating 22 turnovers a game, and they've got a bunch of shooters.
Bob, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Robin Warren?
Robbie and Bob, thanks very much. And West Virginia, a fresh face. Chase Harler makes his 20th career start, but his first start of the season in place of Jermaine Haley. Austin Claunch, in his second year, the youngest head coach in Division I, leads the Nicholls Colonels against the West Virginia Mountaineers. He's also got a new starter today because Kevin Johnson, who's made 70 consecutive starts, will not be able to go today. Got a concussion in practice. So D'Angelo Hunter, the West Virginia transfer, is into the starting lineup for the Nicholls Colonels. And Maurice Alatiche will go against Oscar Shibwe for the opening tap. West Virginia in the white and the Colonels in the black and red. And Matthews has the turnover, or has the tip-off for West Virginia, and instantly trying to create a turnover is Nicholls. They are 4th best in the country in turnover ratio. Shot is short, rebound to Elvis Harvey.
Well, you can see what Nicholls wants to do. They want to come out and pressure West Virginia, try to get West Virginia to turn that basketball over.
And Chase Harler face guarding Dexter McClanahan, very, very potent scorer. And boy, it looks like he's not even going to try to help out. He's just locked into McClanahan right now. Down low to Harvey. Harvey goes up and Harvey scores.
Boy, what an offensive set for Nicholls to begin this ball game. And right away, Nicholls coming up with some full court pressure.
Foul will be on Andre Jones. Keep in mind, again, without Kevin Johnson, a little short-handed as we take a look at Warren's keys to the game.
All right. Yeah, with West Virginia now, they have got to find McClanahan. Everybody guards him, dominate both ends, and ignore their record. They're much better than their record shows. They must battle inside and try to keep West Virginia off the boards, get off to a good early start, and then confuse West Virginia with different defenses.
Talk about McClanahan against UMBC in the first half. He had 25 points. Dump down is picked off. First turnover by the Mountaineers as D'Angelo Hunter was there. Kick to the corner, 3 on the way. That is McClanahan open, but he misses and Culver gets the rebound. Chase Harler can't finish. Is able to get it back for the Mountaineers. Ooh, beautiful move by Matthews, couldn't finish. And Alatiche comes in for the rebound.
West Virginia's hit a number of games where the ball just hangs on the rim.
The ball slapped out of the hands of Jones, taking it to the basket. Andre Jones did not play in their one really bad loss to NCAAB. Not in that game. Austin Claunch thought that was a big absence for his team. Didn't play particularly well in that game. We mentioned they have played top teams very close, have that win over Pitt. They were up against Rhode Island, a team we saw give West Virginia all kinds of trouble, up by a point with a minute and a half left in that game.
Well, West Virginia beat them by 6. Nicholls lost by 5.
Kind of a sloppy inbounds pass and off the hands of Harvey, deflected by Culver, and it'll be a turnover. West Virginia will inbound. And McCabe has it now, again, showing pressure.
Yeah, run and jump.
Matthews to Culver. Oh, Culver has it blocked as he tried to change hands. Up ahead to Hunter, who will slow down. He'll pull a long 3 off the mark.
Nicholls is going to try to score in transition. They won't do a lot of sets. They are going to get that ball and go.
Culver spins, nice pass inside to Shibwe. Shibwe hit and converts.
Nice close-in pass by Culver. That's a tough thing to do when you have 2 bigs that close together inside. He was able to get it, Shibwe able to get the extra pass and score. That's tight quarters inside. A lot of bodies around.
We've seen Culver have some capability of passing in the post. Picks up the assist there. And Shibwe can't make the free throw, and we get an over-the-back foul on Culver. You don't mind aggressive, but you hate to see an early foul like that.
No. Harvey did a nice job of boxing out just now, and Culver going over the back. That's what Nicholls has to do. They've been out-rebounded miserably in a few ball games, but still able to hang in there. They can't do that against West Virginia. They have to box out.
Andre Jones trying to get the attention of Tom Eads and say to the official and say, hey, I'm getting pushed by McCabe here, but couldn't make eye contact with him. Letitia now in trouble as he cuts the dribble and batted away by Derek Culver once again. Harvey's going to let it go out of bounds. 5 left on the shot clock.
West Virginia needs to put some pressure on them. There's only 5 seconds left. Make them labor to get the ball in and get it up the court. You don't want a long pass down the floor. Make them catch you in front of you.
Hunter just does get it in. Alatiche has it stolen away by McCabe. Batted out of bounds, and they're going to call this a shot clock violation as the ball up for grabs. So Tom Eads pats ahead. That's a turnover. It'll be West Virginia basketball.
Good job by West Virginia, not allowing Nicholls to just take that ball and go down the court.
Culver out, Gabe Osaboyan in, and boy, he has looked increasingly comfortable. The Arkansas transfer coming off the bench, not wowing you with numbers, but doing a lot of the little things. It was sort of what he was touted to be able to do.
Exactly. Known as a good defender.
The lob was deflected. Looked like it was going to be a jam for Sheboy. Out of bounds, it'll be Nicholls basketball. Nicholls having trouble getting the ball out.
The other guys didn't recognize the amount of pressure that West Virginia was putting on. Almost turned it over.
There's Hunter. Boy, long pull-up. Wow. Bangs down the 3. Wow.
Well, you know that he wants to come back to Morgantown and show off.
That was contested by Matthews. It is a 5-2 Nicholls lead. On the blocks to Matthews. Fade away. No good. Rebound battled for and pulled down by Nicholls. This is Jones on the move. And they're going to get the charge call as McCabe stepped in on Jones.
But the officials looked at each other for a second.
Sure did.
I'm not sure that they were going to call that. It was clear that McCabe had good position. The other guards on the bench for West Virginia need to be paying attention here. When they come in, they have to know that this pressure is going to be there. There's that run and jump again.
By the way, going back to that, I like that job by the officials. Communicating and making sure they got the call right. Now Osaboyan in big trouble.
Boy, bailed out by a foul.
Oh, he sure was. Foul's going to be called on Lorenzo McGee, who checked into the game, and now Raji Lyons will check in, their biggest player at 6'10", 200 pounds.
Most of the time in the post area, more than 2 dribbles is going to get you in trouble. They used to always say the mice are going to come and get it. That's those little guys. They're on your feet. They're going to come and get the ball.
McCabe inbounds to Matthews. Back to McCabe. 15 on the shot clock. Batted away. It'll be West Virginia basketball.
Well, again, Nicholls in those passing lanes. 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
And Nicholls showing a little bit of zone there. Now going back to man-to-man. And the shot clock winding down in the inbound play. Here's McCabe. Picks out Matthews. 3-pointer. And it is good.
Boy, give McCabe credit. McCabe drove through the defense and kicked. Matthews ready to shoot. We've seen his improvement from the perimeter.
A really good crowd on hand here for a non-conference early season game. I like that. McClanahan being guarded by Harlow.
Harlow is sticking right with McClanahan. Oh, boy, that's a tough foul on Harlow.
So Chase Harlow picks up his first. We have a 5-5 game. The Mountaineers tying it up seconds ago. McCabe to penetration. Matthews at 3, knotted at 5. 15:54 remaining in the first half. At the WVU Coliseum, Nicholls and West Virginia tied at 5 apiece. And this is a Nicholls team that took Illinois to overtime. Then they beat Pitt at Pitt. LSU, with 4 minutes to go, that was still a game. It was only late in that game that LSU pulled away. Number 23 LSU at the time to win by 10. And then Rhode Island, that was a game that Nicholls was up by a point with 1.5 minutes left. Rhode Island, who came in here and took West Virginia down to the wire, pulled away late in that game. There's D'Angelo Hunter, who hit a three-pointer here early on. One of several players for Nicholls. Transfers that have come in here. McClanahan's another one. Jones from Arkansas, Little Rock. Jones led his team in scoring. The same with McClanahan. We know about D'Angelo Hunter being a West Virginia guy. So very capable players who can score. It's not just one or two players that are going to be a problem here. Could potentially be a problem for West Virginia. Letitia lost the handle. Now gets it back, gives off to McClanahan. Oh, big effort defensively on McClanahan. Now will pull up and erased by Chase Harler. Oh, excellent defensive play. Well, that's why Chase Harler's in the starting lineup today.
Right. Chase has no other responsibilities, although he went for that loose ball. But his job is to blanket him wherever he goes. He's got to go all over the court with McClanahan.
You know, this was his zone. It would almost be like a box and one. I mean, Chase is not completely ditching his team defensive responsibilities, but he is really keeping an eye on McClanahan.
And you have to. Here's a guy that can score in bunches. You know, he's one of these guys. He gets a little look and hits one. He might hit 5 in a row.
That's a second personal foul. Lorenzo McGee didn't see a lot down there, but McGee is now going to have to check out with 2 personal fouls. Again, a team already without starting point guard Kevin Johnson, who started 70 straight games for them. So that's a big loss, and you can't get guys like McGee in foul trouble. That could really hurt their depth. Here's Deuce McBride. Three-pointer off the mark, and Osabuono is going to be called for the push.
Well, give Nicholls credit. They are doing it. They're trying to do the best job they can. We've seen one over the back on Culver and that one on Osabuono. They've got to keep the Mountaineers off the boards, and they've done a pretty decent job of it so far.
Well, talked to Austin Ponch before the game and said, look, we're not coming in here expecting to win the rebounding battle, as McClanahan misses it. Lyons with a follow-up jam. There again, another rebound. They don't expect to win it, but he said we've got to battle in the paint, and they have battled in the paint.
Yes,
so
they
far.
have.
Osabuono dribbles into trouble.
Boy, that's the second time Osabuono has been bailed out by a foul.
Here's the slam cam with Lyons on the follow.
Wow.
And agree with you wholeheartedly that as Jeremiah Buford comes into the game and gets called for a personal foul, that's one that's a play on a lot of times. Both those fouls that Osabuono has been involved in that have been called against Nicholls.
Yes.
Into Osabuono. Lobs to Matthews for the jam.
What you can do at one end, I can do at the other. That's the type of energy that we've seen this young man bring this year. You know, the way he's been shooting the ball from the perimeter, the way he goes and gets offensive rebounds, and when he drives to the hole, if he can dunk on you, that is going to be the end result.
And it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's sort of a languid explosion. You know, he doesn't look like he's, you know, like he's capable at sometimes because he's so smooth, and then all of a sudden he's boom, jamming one home. And West Virginia in that three-point play up by 1, 8-7. McClanahan still looking to get going here. Out to Lyons. Lyons off the mark. Matthews soars for the rebound. Deuce McBride, three-pointer, in and out. And a battle for the boards, and it's going to be off Nicholls, out of bounds. It'll be West Virginia basketball. Again, a lot of contact.
Well, and it was a pretty doggone good box out against Shapeway just now. You know, they're getting a body on those big guys inside for West Virginia, and that's what they have to do.
Early on, you know, that game at St. John's was not for the faint of heart.
No, it was
that was a battle.
That reminded me of the old Big East games.
Right, exactly.
I don't think West Virginia played anybody that physical in the Big 12 last year. That looked like one of the old-fashioned Big East, you know, last man standing, black eye type of ball game.
And Lyons doesn't have, or Nicholls doesn't have the size, and Lyons their biggest guy, to necessarily bang like that. But they're scrapping in there as Matthews' three-pointer no good. Sheboy the rebound, goes in hard, and is able to put it up and in.
At some point in time, that size of his and strength will show itself.
Well, McClanahan a little push off there. He's gotten frustrated. As we mentioned earlier, he motioned to the officials that he thought he was being fouled on inbound attempts. Now Hunter, another long three, And he is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 3.
Matthews, I didn't think he got him. They had 2 bodies around Sheboy, but that's just his big strength and how powerful he is.
Well, the fans, they always pick on somebody, and as you can imagine, because D'Angelo Hunter transferred from here, they're all over him. So anytime he touches the ball, they're reacting. Anytime he misses a free throw or a shot as he did there, there's a chant going on behind us, and he misses the first 2. An 87% free throw shooter misses his 2 free throws, first 2 free throws. Interesting here, too, that Nicholls does not have a single player on the free throw line.
I know, they're conceding that rebound.
Hunter drains the 3rd.
Other than that being a foul on Matthews, 1 point out of that's not too bad for West Virginia, but Emmett Matthews didn't think he got it, but the official standing there said yes, it was a foul on the 3-point shot.
First time we've seen Sean McNeil. He's checked in for West Virginia. A lob attempt, and once again another turnover created. Hunter had the ball up to McClanahan now. McClanahan with McBride on him, lost the handle. It's Logan Rout out on Harvey defensively. Harvey wants to take him to the basket. Ooh,
and
tough shot. Nice shot by Elvis Harvey.
Wow. Got that up over the big man without any trouble.
There's McNeil. He'll pull from long range off the mark, and now we're going to get Sheboy, I believe, for a foul on Harvey.
Boy, you have to give Nicholls all the credit in the world with the way that they are boxing out inside.
Yeah, a little bit of contact before that happened. Yeah, they are battling. I mean, they've come in here and for the first 7 minutes of this game, they battled. It's a 10-10 game.
No intimidation whatsoever.
Right.
See Deuce McBride now on McClanahan. Give Chase Harder a lot of credit. He really kind of denied him the basketball, hadn't let him get started yet.
There's Alatishe, and that is rejected. I thought that hit the backboard first, but thought maybe that was a goaltending, but no call here.
It just bounced and hit the backside of the rim.
Here's a look from the slam cam. Now, was that blocked on the way up?
I think it was blocked on the way up.
Glass.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw it hit the glass, but it was blocked into the glass and then blocked again. Oh, tough shot with the buzzer. Harvey had no choice but to pull it, and another shot clock violation forced by the Mountaineers. Fifth turnover by Nicholls. Into Sheboy. Sheboy pump, can't get it. Rebound pulled down, and then Sheboy pulls it right away.
How did he get that basketball? He just yanked it out.
Man, he sure did, but it goes back to Nicholls. This is Jeremiah Buford, who's checked into the game. McClanahan creates a little room fadeaway, and it's good for Dexter McClanahan, and Nicholls with the lead.
And again, that was not bad defense by West Virginia at all. That was just a good shot. McBride all over him. He just fell away and hit it.
And he is their leading scorer at 17 points per game. Into Rout, and Rout has it blocked from behind, but right there is Sheboy for the jam. Well, it's been enjoyable and combative, hasn't it? Ooh, nice take on the other end by Harvey.
Harvey had to get that up really high to get it over at Sheboy.
Nicholls up 2, 14-12. Bride will take it. foul over the top on Brandon Moore, I believe. Might have been on Buford. Yeah, Brandon Moore. So it is 14-12. The Nicholls Colonels are the lead. Oscar Shebue cleaning things up and jamming it home in a game that has been hotly contested early on.
Mountaineers find themselves down by a pair to Nicholls here on AT&T Sports Center. I'm Robbie Mikowski. We talked about Oscar Shebue, a big presence down low as we're seeing early in this ball game. He was named the Big 12's Newcomer of the Week a couple weeks ago, the week of December 2nd, for his performance in Cancun. And I talked to Eric Martin, the assistant coach, about Oscar Shebue and asked him what kind of talent exactly it is that he has on his hands in Shebue. He said he has a motor unlike what I've ever coached in his 14 years of coaching. He said he does what I ask him to do like all great players do. He said, hey, Oscar, my job isn't to coach you. It's to get you to trust me. Once that happens, everything else is going to be easy. And Eric felt Oscar's trust from day one, and it seems in his early performance here, Robin Warren in his first season as a Mountaineer, we're seeing that trust going both ways, and the results are happening right in the court in front of our own eyes.
There is Eric Martin, Robbie, and Shebue, of course, comes in with the credentials of a McDonald's High School All-American, just the second West Virginia high school recruit for the McDonald's High School All-American ranks. By the way, I wanted to clear something up. It was Buford that was charged with the foul before we went to break. And so Buford, McGee, and Jones all have 2 fouls, all backcourt members of Nicholls. And keep in mind they're already without Kevin Johnson. So that's a situation we'll keep an eye on as Deuce McBride hits the front end of a 1-and-1.
You know, where West Virginia gets to you in these bowl games is the bench. Bob Huggins keeps running so many different guys in, and it will eventually wear guys down, and they ended up fouling. And Nicholls' bench is not as deep as West Virginia's.
There's McClanahan to Hunter. Hunter's three-pointer is too strong. Rebound tracked down by McNeil for West Virginia. Taz Sherman on the floor with Matthews, Shebue, and McNeil. There's Matthews, three-pointer, and it is short. Rebound to McBride. Interesting, McNeil didn't pull it there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to pull it.
McBride, three-point range. No good, and the rebound to D'Angelo Hunter for Nicholls.
McBride has been struggling with his outside shot. He was shooting a ton during shoot-around. Even after the shoot-around was over today, trying to get some extra shots.
And McBride, big effort. Are they going to get McClanahan for the foul
I think
here?
they will. I think they will. Boy, give Deuce McBride tons of credit. Yep, they did call it. I've seen some of those be no calls before, but they did call it because he did go over the top. Deuce McBride deserved that.
Yeah, he did. First, by the way, on McClanahan. And, you know, it's interesting. You talk about how pressing teams don't like to be pressed. Nicholls likes to overplay the passing lane. They found themselves cut off, and West Virginia able to do some of the things they're trying to do to their opponents as well.
Exactly.
McBride hits the first. Came in a 72% free throw shooter. There's Austin Clonch.
Imagine being 28 years old, taking over a program like that.
And amazing. Quick rise, and you consider, again, he played Division III basketball. Terrific player, but Division III basketball. And then, you know, half a dozen years after your career ends, you're through Clemson as an assistant, and now you're the head coach of Nicholls, and a team picked for 11th in the Southland, but it's hard to believe they won't be much better than that. We pointed out, as we talked to him a couple of years ago when Richie Riley was the head coach, he was an assistant, as we see McClanahan. Long three off the mark and battled for out of bounds. It'll be West Virginia basketball. That they were picked for 10th in the Southland and won. So he believes that they've got a team that can compete for a championship this year. Sherman steps back, and Taz Sherman hits the two.
That's what Taz Sherman does. He and McNeil were both recruited to come in here, put up shots, and knock them down.
Well, McNeil and Sherman, respectively, first and fourth in all JUCO ranks in scoring last year. Here's Jones, runs into trouble, and they must have been holding their breaths over at the Nicholls bench that it wouldn't be a third personal foul on Jones.
Well, the thing is, that's on Emmett Matthews, and that is his second, I believe, yes.
So 2 on Matthews. So he'll go out. Osabuoyen will come in. So not going to be a shooting foul here for Nicholls.
See Brandon Napper on the McClanahan now. That's the third different person that Bob Huggins has put on. He wants to keep fresh guys on McClanahan.
McClanahan has it blocked by Shibwe, and now a foul going to be called on D'Angelo Hunter. By the way, I do not see Tom Eads, the third official.
You know, a while ago, I saw Tom Eads bend over, and I didn't know whether he had a cramp or what, but he was bending over down by the Mountaineer bench, and it looked like he was in some type of discomfort.
So we're being told back issues for Tom Eads. So we will have 2 officials. Now, if you knew that, Warren, would you try to get away with more, or you just continue to play your game?
No, I think you just got to continue to play your game. You don't want officials now. They know how to work a 2-man crew, but they're used to doing 3-man crews. You don't want to give them something where they have to try to make a judgment call on something else. Go ahead and play your normal ball game. If they call it, they call it. But I wouldn't try anything different.
Sherman makes 1 of 2, Lions the rebound, and the ball, as he tries to get it to Jones, skips through his hands and goes out of bounds. 8:49 remaining in the first half. Jermaine Haley is still not seeing the floor here for the Mountaineers. So normally, obviously, a starter in their starting lineup. Chase Harler put in. We were told he was going to have the duty of covering McClanahan, and we still have not seen Haley in this game. Savoyan now to Napper, 3-pointer. Napper hits. No, they're going to say 2. His toe was on the line.
Yeah, I think it was.
2-pointer for Napper. The Lions have a long jump hook, rebounded by Culver as it comes up short. Near steal, Napper will instead step up for 3. Culver in a sea of black and red, able to come away with that rebound, and now he will go to the free throw line. So Culver battles for the board. West Virginia has pulled out to a 6-point lead, 20-14, 7:59 remaining in the first half at the WVU Coliseum.
8 minutes remaining in half number 1. Mountaineers with a 6-point lead as we get a look at one of the officials. And as Robin Warren talked about a moment ago, referee Tom Eads has not been in the ball game for the last couple minutes. I have been able to confirm that he is dealing with some lower back pain. He is gone for at least the remainder of this half. As for his availability for the second half, we don't know yet. So we may, Robin Warren, be playing the remaining of this game with 2 officials. So hopefully these guys don't do anything while mom and dad aren't looking, okay?
Yeah, and that was Rick Crawford and then Kirby Sitton, who we saw, who will be officiating the rest of this half. Since the last media timeout, Tom Eads going to the locker room, and West Virginia, meanwhile, over the last 2:59, has gone on an 8-0 run. So Nicholls was up in this game 14-12. West Virginia now enjoying a 20-14 lead.
I'd love to be able to speak to one of the officials here to find out just how they do their adjustment. They do know how to work with 2 men. They talk about that and they do it all the time. But, you know, you get in instinctively, you do things because you're used to a 3-man crew, and they may have trouble adjusting from time to time.
Definitely something to keep an eye on as Derek Culver steps to the free throw line. Culver, 76% free throw shooter. Been in a little bit of a slump at the line. He started out really well and has cooled off from the charity stripe over the last several games. And able to get the second one in. 9-0 run now for the Mountaineers over the last 3 minutes.
Napper staying on McClanahan. West Virginia staying in that man-to-man.
Jones is checked back in with those 2 personal fouls. Elvis Harvey with 10 in the shot clock, spinning to the middle. And will go to the jump hook. Tough shot of Osaboyan, but gets it to go and ends a 3.5-minute scoring drought for the Nicholls Colonels.
Difficult shot. Derek Culver gave good help defense. Just a good offensive play.
Napper in some trouble. And West Virginia doing a nice job against this pressure. And now the shot by Sherman is good. So able to identify the open man and get the 2 from Sherman.
And that's what they need out Taz Sherman. For Mountaineer fans that may have hung around late after ball games, you see Sherman out here after the ball game working on his shot.
Hunter does a nice job, draws the foul on McNeil. Well, they're really hoping McNeil commits the foul. They're really hoping McNeil and Sherman are guys that can come off the bench. And
that's why they were recruited. They were shooters. Bob Huggins said all year, he knows eventually they're going to make shots. We saw McNeil last game really come out, stroke the ball well. And right now, Sherman has come off the bench and shooting the basketball well.
It's the first free throw now, McGee in for Jones. So again, Austin Claunch is going to try to manage the fact that Jones, McGee, and Buford all have 2 fouls. As Hunter hits the second free throw and back down to a 5-point lead. He wants to play a high-pressure defense, and yet you got to have guys in foul troubles. They're now showing a little 1-3-1 here.
Yeah, this 1-3-1 defense switch by Nicholls. West Virginia has to adjust to that.
There's McNeil, open 3 and knocks it down.
Anytime you're playing zone, if he's on the court, you better talk about it.
Oh, Hunter comes back the other way and hits a 3.
Hunter kind of kicked his legs out when he shot that ball, just now trying to draw that foul.
Yeah, and then McNeil subsequently tripped over him. That might have been one of those instances where a third official may have called something, but hard to see with the 2. A nice entry into Derek Culver. You know, that's something that West Virginia worked on in practice prior to the Austin P game. They took the air out of the basketball. As we take a look at here, here's a 3 by Hunter. And now what you don't see is he fell, and McNeil tripped over the top of it. He just caught the tail end of it. So again, they took the air out of the basketballs because Bob Huggins had too much dribbling, not enough passing into the post. So they did that for practice, and I think, you know, somewhat satisfactory results against Austin P. But he has his big guys down there, Culver and Sheboy, both, you know, offensive forces. You'd have loved that back in your day, huh?
Exactly. Well, yeah, West Virginia had Deflategate basketball style. Bob Huggins took the wind out of the ball. It would bounce, but it just wouldn't come back up to the guys. They had to pass it. That last time down, by the way, Nicholls was in man-to-man. After McNeil hit that shot, they got out of that zone right away.
Knocked out of bounds off the fingers of Hunter as Osaboyan got his hand in the passing lane. And, you know, again, we talked about Nicholls wanting to come in here and do some things turnover-wise against West Virginia. It's been the other way around. West Virginia's really done a nice job of forcing turnovers against Nicholls. 8 turnovers for them.
And they're standing that man-to-man, too. They have to do that with Sherman and McNeil on the court at this time.
Osaboyan thought about it. Back to Napper. 3-pointer on the way. Around and out. Rebound to Culver. McNeil will try from 3. Another one around and out. Another rebound for Culver.
Size beginning to take over a little bit for West Virginia. Those legs get a little heavy if you're trying to box out those big guys.
McClanahan trying to go to work, and they've got eyes on McClanahan. Like you said, everybody guards number 22.
Yes, exactly.
And here's Harvey. I'm going to call the step-in foul. And Derek Culver going to work
using
on the offensive glass.
Yep, there were 2 bodies on him, but that's just that overall length and strength. able to get that ball up on the board and down.
Well, West Virginia #1 in the country the last couple of years in offensive rebounding and have a 9-2 edge in that department against Nicholls.
Well, Nicholls, even in their games against the other big schools, they've been out-rebounded, but they've been turning teams over.
Harvey hits the first free throw. You mentioned that. They were out-rebounded by 30 by Illinois, 53-23. But they created 23 turnovers, hit 8 threes, and forced the Illini into overtime.
Yeah. And West Virginia, from time to time, has been quite generous with the basketball thrown it to the other team.
22 turnovers against St. John's
yes.
on Saturday in their first loss of the season. So Nicholls going to keep an eye on that turnover number. They forced 21 against Pitt. Of course, they were able to beat the Panthers in that game, and then they forced 25 turnovers in a game in which they were out-rebounded by 18 by LSU, 45-27. Teams aren't usually close when they're out-rebounded by that much,
You're
but
exactly right.
when you force 25 turnovers, that'll keep you in the game.
That'll keep you in the game.
And we should also mention the other thing that's been a factor in those games, and something that Nicholls will probably be keeping an eye on in a game in which they have not shot well from three-point range, just 2 of 8. 8 threes against Illinois, 11 in the upset at Pitt, and then 8 against LSU. So that combination of turning the ball over and being able to hit the 3 on the other end has kept them in games and helped them have that big upset win over Pitt.
Well, West Virginia's three-point defense is pretty doggone good, so that should neutralize that. McCabe back in the ball game at the point.
You mentioned that they are the top team in that regard defensively in the Big 12. A nice job here. Hustle play by Harvey, knocking it off of Culver.
Boy, and McCabe, my goodness, he gets himself in a bad position. He's coming out. He knew it as soon. He got too low on the baseline, hit the side of the backboard, which created that turnover. Chase Harler back in the ball game now on McClanahan. So, again, Bob Huggins keeping fresh people on this great score.
McClanahan's been limited to just 2 points. McClanahan, all kinds of activity and collisions and steps, and it felt like if there wasn't a travel, it had to be a foul.
How was there no call on that? Somebody's whistle had to blow. Again, you don't know what kind of angles the officials had. If there was a third official, there's probably some type of a call made.
This is Harvey. 12 on the shot clock, trying to go to work on Culver. Instead will go to Alatiche, who's also trying to battle against Shibwe. 3 on the shot clock. Given off to Moore, he'll have to heave it up, and they're going to say he did not get the shot off.
Yes.
That's a third time
West Virginia has been able to.
Fourth time that's been a shot clock violation. I beg your pardon. 9 turnovers here on Nicholls. Approaching the 4-minute mark. Sherman gets the pass back from Culver. Oh, that is nice basketball.
Sherman's man left him to go down and double on Culver. Culver recognized it, hit Sherman, and Sherman knocked the shot down.
There's Hunter trying to go to work, and wild shot, rebound by Shibwe. Here comes Sherman back the other way. Into the corner for Harler. Now Harler being doubled. Tries to power his way out of it, out of bounds. Off Nicholls. It will be West Virginia basketball when we resume. Well, we talked about Bob Huggins saying you got to get that ball into the post. Sometimes when it gets into the post, it comes back out. It did here.
Exactly right.
Sherman the 3, and the Mountaineers with a 9-point lead. Incredible job the Penguins have done. Mike Sullivan, unbelievable job with all the injuries and illnesses going on as West Virginia up 32-23.
Look at this play. Culver recognizing D'Angelo Hunter makes the mistake of leaving Taz Sherman. What West Virginia did that time was put a good shooter on the same side with the post player. Derek Culver recognized that double team coming, and Taz Sherman stepped into the hole and knocked it down. That's beautiful basketball.
By the way, as we see Harler's three-pointer off the mark, rebounded to McGee. That the 2 guys leading the Mountaineers with 2 assists each so far, Osabuoyan and Culver, the big guys.
Ooh.
Personal foul here on Chase Harler, who respectfully disagrees with the call made by Rick Crawford.
Well, and Bob Huggins disagreed as well.
Well, McClanahan will go to the free throw line. 75% free throw shooter.
At the line for the Colonels, Dexter McClanahan. One and the low.
It's a 1-and-1. West Virginia up 9, 3:27 remaining. McClanahan hits the first, but a very quiet first half for him.
Yeah,
1 for 5 from the floor.
It's his third point,
Yep.
yeah. Well, but you know, I've seen it before, Rob. That's all it takes sometimes for scores to get going, get to the line and knock down a couple, and then they're off to the races. Only 1 for 2 for him.
See if that rule still applies when you go 1 for 2 from the free throw line. 32-24. Mountaineers trying to close out. They've been very good over the latter stages of this first half. Culver over to McNeil. McNeil pulls up and in and out.
Goodness.
Nice job by Shibwe. Looks like they're going to get the foul on Reed Alatisha.
What West Virginia is being able to do now is the big guys are being able to get lower and lower, closer to the rim. Early in the ball game, Nicholls did a good job of pushing them away. They can't push now. They're running out against. They're just not strong enough.
Right. And this is obviously a much bigger team. And credit Shibwe and Culver with going after it too. It's they've gotten good position, but they've also Shibwe had to move from his right to his left underneath the basket. Just didn't concede on that. Went and got it. Shibwe 63% free throw shooter after hitting the first. Hits the second as well.
Good on both of those. This is an important part of the game for Nicholls right now. They're down 10 with 3 minutes to go in the half. They don't want this thing to get any further out of shape.
Again, it is a team that was down considerably to Illinois and then went on a big run and forced that game to overtime. There's Culver doing an excellent job of baiting McGee and then forcing a 10th turnover for the Colonels. Into Shibwe and missed the jam. Lanahan almost lost the handle. In trouble. Looking for help and finally finds it in the form of Elvis Harvey. And the officials thought there was a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump there, but no travel call.
See what happened to Shibwe. I was kind of blocked from this. I think he may have been falling away from the basket. Yeah, he was. His momentum was taking him away when he tried to slam that.
Bob Huggins displeased as we see that missed jam by Shibwe once again, and he is giving Rick Crawford an earful.
And again, I hate to keep harping on this. You wonder, was he out of position? Are these guys out of position because they're down to a two-man crew? Having to try to adjust on the fly is not easy.
Nope. And that's what Rick Crawford and Kirby Sitton are having to do. In case you just joined us, Tom Eads had to leave the game. The official because of back problems. We're not sure whether he's going to be able to return. We know he's been out for most of the first half, and we'll see whether he's able to get some treatment and get out for the second half.
I'm sure there's some Mountaineer fans that would be willing to put a jersey, a striped jersey on and go out there. Might be a few calls going to Mountaineers' way if that happens.
As always, 10,000 or so playing the part of one, even though they don't officially get a whistle. And there are some of them right behind us.
Yeah, there was a little shove there.
It was the left hand underneath that did it. So the right hand up top didn't do much, but the left hand kind of guided that hip and Shibwe away from the basket. McGee, corner. And the three is good for Reed Alatisha.
That was a huge shot.
That's the lead to 7 as we near the 2-minute mark now remaining in the first half. First field goal in over 4 minutes for Nicholls. Long drought for the Colonels. McNeil dribbles it off his foot.
Oh boy.
Hunter up the head to McClanahan. McClanahan,
And that is a block.
left-handed layup, and good. And now McBride had position, but it looked like to me like he was inside the circle.
He was inside the circle. That's a good call. That is a charge.
Deuce McBride called for the personal. His first.
McClanahan. Well, let's see. No, he was outside.
He must have said he was moving then.
It
It first appeared that he was inside the circle.
That's what I thought the call was as well. So McClanahan, the basket's good. So following the three-pointer by Alatishe, a chance for another 3 points to be put up here by Nicholls. And they'll have to settle for 2. 5-point lead, but stolen now by Alatishe. Back. Oh, the jam is missed by Harvey.
There must be a lid on the basket at both ends here. With the dunks. The West Virginia band had some very bad turnovers here of late.
And that time the layup by Alatishe is good.
Back to a 3-point game. West Virginia was up 10 just a little over a minute ago. This has been an important stretch for Nicholls.
Oh, boy. They overplayed the rebound, and McBride makes him hurt and makes it pay as Osaboyan finds the rebound and then finds McBride, and Deuce McBride, the three-pointer, back to a 6-point lead. And Nicholls had their hands on the ball, no Mountaineers around him. And now a turnover. Oh, but Culver got his hand on it. Looked like an 11th turnover for Nicholls, but instead off of Culver. Ooh, he just couldn't help himself.
Instincts.
Alatishe, boy, they're having trouble just getting the ball inbounds. As Harvey puts it on the floor and overshoots McGee. And it will be that 11th turnover for Nicholls. Austin Ponch can't be particularly happy with that. This team has been hanging around, 6-point lead. The Mountaineers as McBride inbounds to McCabe. 20 on the shot clock. To Sherman now. Nicholls pressuring. McCabe, three-pointer, high arcing shot, followed by Culver.
And no, nice backside rebound by Culver. Again, nobody with a body on Culver. He will feast all night on something like that.
Well, you would assume Nicholls will hold for a last shot here. Down 8. McClanahan being guarded by McCabe.
McCabe doesn't want to foul him.
McClanahan will keep the ball in his hands. Now we'll pull from three-point range, in and out, and the rebound battled for, and it is out of bounds to end the first half. So West Virginia, Nicholls coming in here battling hard, giving him a tough game. It is the Mountaineers who lead by the score of 39-31 at the half, as we head over to Robbie Zbikowski, who is with head coach Bob Huggins.
Bob Huggins, Robin, his Mountaineers with an 8-point lead here at halftime. It took you 15 minutes, Bob, to gain some separation between yourself and Nicholls. What enabled you to do it?
We started finally rebounding the ball a little bit better, and we were giving them layups. And we got some other guys in and actually tried to stay in front of them.
What is the adjustment process like, and what might you say to these guys when you get into the locker room at the half?
Well, we haven't made 2 free throws consecutively. We haven't made layups. We've given them layups. I would say probably we better play a whole lot better.
You should try being honest sometime, Bob, okay?
I am. I mean, I'm trying to be as honest as I can because I like you so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
Robin Warren.
Robbie and Bob, thank you very much. The Mountaineers leading 39-31. It's been a battle here at WVU Coliseum. Halftime show is coming up next on AT&T Sportsnet. Now that young man knows how to enjoy a basketball game. It may surprise you, but I'm getting kind of hungry looking at him, Bake.
Where's ours?
Let's take a look at our first half highlights. And Elvis Harvey doing a nice job leading all scorers with 10 points in this game.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. They really needed him because West Virginia has done a nice job on McClanahan, but Harvey has really picked up the scoring for them.
Meanwhile, for West Virginia on the other end, you'd expect the big guys to play big, and Oscar Tshiebwe has.
Yes, he has. And the 3-4 guys around, he just bulls his way there. Block right there. And there's 4 guys around him, and he still goes up and dunks it.
8.7 rebounds for him, and I think West Virginia's been waiting for Taz Sherman to really kind of explode. 8 points in the first half for him.
Well, Taz Sherman has. He looks really, really comfortable. And the one thing, like I said, Taz Sherman, it's the Mountaineer fans who have stuck around, he's been shooting after every game. He's been coming out early saying, I've got to get my shot done.
Well, let's take a look at first half stats, and the rebound margin again in favor of West Virginia, 21-15. The other one we wanted to look at was the turnover margin, and right now West Virginia doing a pretty good job, all things considered.
Yep, and as you would expect, look at the bench points. West Virginia 19-2, and that's going to happen most ball games because of the amount of talent that comes off that bench.
And keep in mind as well that Nicholls, one of their bench guys, D'Angelo Hunter, starting today because Kevin Johnson, their normal starting point guard, after 70 consecutive starts, sustained a concussion in practice, as we see the jam by Jones and not playing in this game. So a 6-point lead now as Jones comes out and summarily jams one to begin this second half. Dump down to Tshiebwe, and it goes past Tshiebwe, and it will be an 8th turnover for West Virginia.
Well, no help defense, and Jordan McCabe needs to make sure that he can slide over and cut people off. And West Virginia has to get some help side coming over there to try to get in front of that shot, but Jordan's got to do a better job, and McCabe is out of the ball game right now.
Right in. McClanahan being guarded by Chase Harler. Finds McClanahan does Alatiche for another jam. Matthews, he got himself in trouble. Oh, now he's reaching for his hamstring, it appears, and
yeah, I think he was just kind of throwing that up, just hoping that Tshiebwe would be able to get it.
Wanted to lob it and then realized it wasn't there and threw it up, and somehow it went in. Here's Harvey. Harvey goes left hand high off glass. Pretty good.
Harvey has come to play. West Virginia doing a great job on McClanahan, and Harvey's just taking over.
Well, we talked about that. McClanahan, 17 points per game. He's their leading scorer, but they have capable players in their lineup, guys who can score.
Well, they have 4 guys averaging double figures and the other guy averaging 9. And of course, that changed with the concussion, but still, they got other guys that can score.
83 points per game is what Austin averages, by the way. So, again, Matthews had kind of looked, as we talked about, maybe reaching for that hamstring a little bit after that shot that went up, and keep an eye on Matthews and see how he's moving here. Nicholls has come out, cut the lead to 4 here early on in the second half. Backdoor cut off of Matthews and out of bounds, a 9th turnover for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, West Virginia trying to beat them with a backdoor cut. That's how you relieve that pressure, but just not on the same page.
And NCAAB, North Carolina A&T, and their upset over Nicholls really hurt them with backdoor cuts and jams. And Nicholls now down by just 4. Jones, step back shot, difficult shot, air ball.
Boy, not a good possession at all by Nicholls that time down.
Osaboyan drives into the lane, gets himself in trouble, gets the ball back to Culver. Culver spins and goes off glass. And Elvis Harvey is down and not getting up. Pounds his fist on the hardwood.
See if we can see what happened here. Took a little elbow under the chin, I think. I don't know if that was the... Well, it appears that he's okay. He's shaking it off.
Is that a Culver elbow?
I think it was.
I don't know if Derek felt it, but at 6'10", 255, it looked like Looked like Harvey felt it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be on the wrong end of that, the Culver elbow, I don't think, as Harvey comes out of the game. Didn't look by any means like it was intentional. Lyons is checked in, Raji Lyons.
It feels like a Yule log. We're getting close to Christmas, feels like a Yule log.
Yes, I think that's pretty good. Chase Harlow's done a wonderful job on the play.
Yes, he has. Exceptional.
Just 5 points, averaging 17 a game.
Well, we've seen Deuce McBride and also Napper on him, but they've done a great job on it.
Jones, corner, Hunter, 3, no good. Rebound to Hunter. That was Buford, by the way, who missed that three-pointer, and it's Jones who knocks one down here. Now it's a 3-point lead. Nicholls just hanging around. This has been a really good start to the second half for them, and now another turnover.
Wow.
10
That's one that
turnovers.
just went right through Matthews' hands. And that's something that you don't see happen very often. I know the ball had a little heat on it, but still, that's a ball he's going to catch.
And we talked about, doing a pretty good job with just the 7 turnovers. The first half of 3 quickly here in the second half. McClanahan in trouble, and they're going to get the foul on the step through. And it's Oseboyan who's going to pick up the personal foul. And an inbound situation here for Nicholls.
Well, Rob, you and I had a chance to speak with the official and ask him about how difficult it was to go to a 2-man crew from a 3. Officials both looked at both of us and said, very difficult.
Oh, my. D'Angelo Hunter falling away and fouled. A chance to tie the game up. Very difficult shot. Hits the basket, and now we'll have a free throw attempt.
Hunter's had this game circled on the calendar since the time he left West Virginia. So, but to finish that thought, the officials said yes, they were having a difficult time adjusting. West Virginia again. You're a creature of habit, and they're running their positions, but it's been very difficult on that.
Sherman, 3-pointer off the mark, rebound to Culver, and Culver will lay it in with the right hand. Mountaineers reclaim the lead, 45-43 after Nicholls had tied it. McClanahan, step back, and off the mark again, well defended. Nice job by Chase Harlow, really making McClanahan work on the offensive end. Culver will pull up, and Culver 17. This feels like maybe it's getting a little personal for some of these players. Guys, glaring after shots, guys eyeing each other up.
I'm sure when Culver let that go, Austin Conch was okay with it. I mean, he probably didn't think Culver would knock that one down.
Here's Lyons.
Doing his best curly kneel.
Yep, and lost his balance, and now he's going to call a timeout here as the Mountaineers have reclaimed the lead 47-43. Still a pretty good start to this second half for Nicholls. Culver, meanwhile, that was a double-double, 12 points and 10 rebounds. Well, if you've been paying close attention to college basketball this year, that's scored not going to surprise you, 47-43. Now, we talked about the Southland Conference preseason poll. Nicholls picked to finish 11th, but I don't know if they knew that the people that voted for the teams exactly the impact that some of these transfers were going to have for Austin Conch's team. And they've had a great impact, and in fact, they've allowed them to pull off a big upset over Pitt. They took Illinois to overtime. LSU was a game they were into till very late in regulation. They were up a point on Rhode Island with 1:30 left. And speaking of the Southland Conference, don't forget that they shook up the basketball world earlier with the Austin Peay upset over Duke. So could be a very competitive, very interesting Southland Conference. Dexter McClanahan, one of those transfers we talked about, comes in. He led Savannah State in scoring a couple of years ago at 15.6 points per game, and now averaging over 17 for Nicholls. Here's Hunter. Hunter has it blocked. Nice job by McBride. and another shot clock violation. That is the 5th the Mountaineers have forced. And we have another timeout on the floor. West Virginia leading 47-43, 15-23 remaining in the second half. West Virginia leading Nicholls 47-43, 15-23 remaining second half. And D'Angelo Hunter played 17 games with West Virginia in 2017-18 and has come out with 12 points so far in this game today, Warren.
Well, yeah, you know, as I said earlier, he circled this one on the calendar, and he wanted to have a good show. And he's playing pretty well right now, 12 points. I tell you, he's not disappointing his family members if they're here, but he's done a nice job here at West Virginia.
Hunter, one of a talented cast around Dexter McClanahan. Now, McClanahan, as we mentioned, we've been talking about him, has been held to 5 points, just 2 for 8 from the floor. He's a guy averaging 17 points per game. You talk about D'Angelo Hunter, it's a West Virginia guy going to the Southland Conference. We talked about Andre Jones. He led Arkansas Little Rock in scoring. Elvis Harvey averages nearly 11 points a game. So there are guys around McClanahan, and that's been borne out today, that can score offensively for this team, averaging over 83 points per game. And trailing by just 4 as we get the whistle here. Looks like it's going to be Alatiche. The foul on Culver battling for position down low.
Alatiche's looking and saying, you know what, we are both mopping down inside. How can you call that foul?
Well, that's tough because it is a 4th personal foul on Alatiche, and now an 11th turnover for the Mountaineers. That's the 4th already this half. Hunter faked it, now pulls up. D'Angelo Hunter off the mark this time. Battle for the rebound. It looks like Elvis Harvey, as McBride goes the other way, slams it off the glass. Harvey moving gingerly. Remember, he went down earlier. Just now joining the fray and gets the rebound. How about that? Late guy. Yeah. And the ball bounced right to him. There's McClanahan cut off. Nice job by McNeil. Ooh, wow. He just does not look like he's right physically.
No, my goodness, that was one of the worst bricks I've seen in a long time.
Carter looking down low. They can't find an entry into Culver. Now they do. Culver has a double team, comes now a triple team, and no question, McClanahan just latched onto the arm of Culver, and he's going to be called for the personal foul. And Lions in, and we're watching Harvey is really walking gingerly as he's going over to the Nicholls bench. He looks like he is in, there he is right there. Yeah. He is in some discomfort. Already a short-handed team, and he is heading down the runway and into the dressing room.
West Virginia has been awfully careless with the basketball here in the second half.
They have its 4-point lead as Nicholls into his zone now. Harler misses the three-pointer. And Shibwe with a rebound, and Shibwe is going to be fouled by Lyons.
Nicholls foul on number 35, Raji Lyons, his second.
Well, both teams are scrapping.
Yeah, they are scrapping, but my goodness.
There's Austin Ponch, and here's what he's looking at. Alatiche with 4, Buford with 3, Jones, McGee, and Hunter with 2 apiece, and his starting point guard unavailable because of a concussion he suffered in practice this week. The Shibwe hits, so this is going to be take all of Claunch's considerable skills. A political science major, by the way, at Emory University, top school. So he can probably think his way through this 4 and 3 and 2 thing with the fouls. Shibwe hits both free throws. Lead back to 6 for the Mountaineers, 49-43. Farther on. Could not find a way to get going.
Well, good help defense that time.
Here's Moore looking. This is Lyons. Back to McClanahan. 6 on the shot clock. Pull up. Ooh.
Wow.
Difficult shot, long two, they're saying, from McClanahan. And again, you're just wondering if one of these shots that goes, and there haven't been many, this is third field goal that he's hit, is going to be the one that maybe gets him going a little bit.
Right.
Mentioned he had 25 points in the first half against UMBC.
And again, Chase Harler had good defense on him. That was just a great shot.
Drive pulls up, off the mark, rebound to Hunter. Interesting to see they try to get to McClanahan again here. This is Jones on the dribble. Jones dumps down to Lyons. Lyons kind of a drifting jump hook off the mark. Deuce McBride, they're going to get the block call on McClanahan. And that'll be McClanahan's third.
Deuce McBride, coast to coast.
Garrett Culver checks into the Mountaineers.
If only the game moved that slowly.
Shooting one, Deuce McBride.
You and I can still be playing if we move that slow.
Yeah. Speak for yourself. It did look like that's a good call. It looked like he slid left to right just at the end to draw the contact.
He was outside of the arc but did not have good position.
And Jones and Nicholls, they battled from a halftime deficit, tied it up, and now they find West Virginia back up 7. Jones turns the corner, lofts up a high shot. Lyons does a nice job tracking it down. Back to Jones, three-pointer on the way, in and out, and battled for, and this time it's Culver. And Culver with a rebound. Mentioned earlier, already has a double-double in this game, third in his last 4 games. So Culver beginning to find his stride for the Mountaineers.
Well, I think Lyons with the foul. That time, Conch is saying, listen, when that guy gets his hands on the ball like that, don't reach in. You're not going to get it. Now Nicholls in the 1-3-1 again. There's Sean McNeil in the corner.
And he hits.
How smart was McNeil? 1-3-1, and he floated to the deep corner, knowing full well it would be difficult to come out and challenge him.
McClanahan has it batted away. Now, the 3 Mountaineers around him. Recovers. And still 13 on the shot clock after all that.
D'Angelo Hunter probably should have attacked the rim.
And they get Harler on the block. So Sean McNeil, boy, if the Mountaineers can get this out of he and Sherman consistently, they're going to be a hard team to zone up. McNeil, the three-pointer, 10-point lead for the Mountaineers, 55-45.
Mountaineer fans in a festive mood as they lead by 10 over Nicholls. Well, Bob Huggins doing something really special here in the state of West Virginia, and that is regarding the Norman May Huggins Endowment Fund. Norman May Huggins passed away in 2003, Bob's mom, after battling colon cancer, and the fund to date has raised nearly $5 million, and that is to support clinical research trials for cancer patients in the state of West Virginia. When Norman May was diagnosed, there were only a few drugs available. And now there are more than a dozen available, some conducted right here at West Virginia, at WVU. So now, to date, more than 4,100 patients have participated in 879 clinical trials through the WVU Cancer Institute. And Robin Warren, to quote Bob Huggins, who says we can't find a cure for cancer right here in West Virginia? Great work that he is doing.
Robbie, thanks, and he is, as you know, Warren, a tireless worker.
Yes, he is.
For cancer research. Shot well off the mark by Jeremiah Buford.
Nicholls back to that man-to-man.
Right. Culver just exploded past him and then just couldn't finish at the rim. Just blew by Lyons, but 12 turnover. And Bob Huggins thought there was a foul. You hear that across the court and through my headphones. So I'm guessing that Rick Crawford, walking right next to him, could hear his displeasure. And now we have a technical.
Yep, I think they got D'Angelo Hunter. He slammed the ball, and the official was staying right there. I don't know if he said something as well.
At the line for the Mountaineers, Sean McNeil, 2 shots.
Neal misses the first. And gets a second to crawl over the front rim. Nicholls has really cooled down. One of their last 9 on the floor, and West Virginia on a 13-2 run has extended the lead back to 11. And by the way, Hunter, because he's called for the technical, is issued his 3rd personal foul. So Andy, the foul troubles continuing to loom. Not an issue just yet, although for Alatushe, he's off the floor with 4. Strong move, right hand, lost the handle, foul on Lyons, I believe, underneath. Yep, it'll be on Lyons.
West Virginia's to the point now where they can go down low anytime they want.
It's a 3rd foul on Lyons.
They're going to get fouled or make shots, one of the two.
Strokes on the first. 13 points, 12 rebounds for Derek Culver. It'll be interesting. We talked about this a little bit in an earlier broadcast, and I know the Mountaineers and Bob Huggins practices been working on how you get Culver and Shebue to be productive at the same time. There's Shebue on the bench. He's, by the way, 1 rebound away from joining Culver with a double-double. But how do you get these guys both effective? They both want to be on the block.
That will come. As the
nice block by McNeil. And the rebound. And Brandon Moore will go to the free throw line.
As they play more and more together and their passing improves, you'll be able to see those guys on the court together, especially playing high-low. One got the foul line, the other down low, and then getting passes inside.
Moore has yet to attempt a free throw this season. And is 0 for 1.
Nicholls really small on the court right now. Their tallest man is 6'5". And Culver should be able to have a field day now. They're going to surround him, so the shooters outside have to be ready.
Now, who's going to guard him? Will it be going to be Brandon? It is going to be Brandon Moore at 6'5". Who's going to be guarding him. Because Hunter's 6'7", but he's a perimeter player, so the rest of the guys on the floor for Nicholls shorter than that. After dribbling, and now turning it over. 13th turnover for the Mountaineers. Backdoor cut, McClanahan kicks back out, and Harlow with the steal. Good help side defense that time. Napper on the run, reverse layup with Brandon
nice
Napper.
Move. Napper using the rim to protect himself there.
Nicholls doesn't mind pushing the pace.
No.
Oh, is that a pretty move? Andre Jones.
That looked like sandlot basketball at its best just now.
Again, that pace, Nicholls is okay with that. They wanted to, of course, to get there by creating some turnovers. McBride shot off the mark. Culver, another rebound. And trying to go up right hand, no good. Battle for a rebound, Hunter.
Culver's shot right now. He needs to come out of the ball game.
Hunter pulls up 3-point range, no good. Rebound to Culver, who has 14 boards left. 14 points, 14 rebounds for Culver. Into Culver, dump down, nice find to Harler, and a foul.
Excellent pass by Derek Culver. He does such a great job of looking around when he gets the ball. Getting a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, nice find. 14 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists for Derek Culver, who will, you said, get a well-deserved break, and Shibwe comes in. Harder to the free throw line.
Here, Nicholls, you say, boy, thank goodness Culver went out of the game. And you look up and you see Shibwe coming down the alley.
Culver really, again, has seemed to hit his stride over the last 4 or 5 ball games for the Mountaineers. Lorenzo McGee trying to go to work. Hunter with Napper on him. Tough entry pass. Moore able to get it back. Trying to go to work on Shibwe. Spins up under glass. Good.
Got Shibwe up in the air and able to duck under his arm and get that to go. That's a tough shot.
Well, you can maybe speak to this big, that you're happy as a big guy to have a little guy on you offensively, but defensively can present its challenges as well.
Most certainly can. Well, you got to give some space there because those guys are so quick.
Rounded out. Clanahan pulls it away. Goes up ahead to Jones. Jones, another pretty move. His frenetic pace seems to agree with Andre Jones. Got a couple of nice finishes, and once again, Nicholls kind of still just hanging around an 11-point lead, 63-52, 7:59 remaining in the second half. West Virginia leading a game Nicholls Colonel squad 63-52. And how about Derek Culver and 14 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists for him.
Well, yeah, he's just too strong down low. You see him go up. And he's got that little soft touch as well when he gets inside. And his strength is just unbelievable. And one thing I like about Derek, he's really worked on that right hand. And guess who is tied for the lead and assist in this ball game?
Yep.
Derek Culver with 3 assists. He and Gabe Oscar-Boyan both with 3 assists.
He leads both teams in points, both teams in rebounds, and as you mentioned, he and Oscar-Boyan with 3 assists apiece. Derek Culver, a terrific all-around game, and still 7:59 remaining.
The one thing that he has really, really done and he's worked on, and he's going to even get better at it, is recognizing when the double team's coming and where to look. Where did the double team come from? Find the open man. We saw him do that earlier with Taz Sherman, and Sherman knocked down a 3.
Right. And again, that's incumbent upon not just him to find those guys, but people to move to the right spots on the floor. I'm sure you got frustrated sometimes with doubles, and then you looked up and there's nowhere to go.
No. So shoot it.
Here's McNeil. He'll shoot it, and he'll make it. 15-point lead, or 14-point lead, I beg your pardon, for the Mountaineers after that McNeil three-pointer. He has 10 now. 3 Mountaineers in double figures. Culver, Shibwe, and McNeil. Clanahan trying to go to work on Oscar-Boyan. And Oscar-Boyan bats it away, gets it to McBride, up to Shibwe.
I'm sure the basket saw him coming and says, oh no, here we go. That poor basket's crying.
And D'Angelo Hunter claws one over the rim. Try to stop some of this West Virginia momentum. The Mountaineers up 14. Shibwe, it looked like he lost his balance. May have been helped there by Brandon Moore as Shibwe, here it comes. That is a powerful hand.
Yes, it is.
He's been as advertised thus far.
Very good touch from Ron. And you know, that's something he's going to have to develop. You know, talking to Bob Huggins today, that's something that he has not been able to do. And that's hit a shot from there. He's shooting free throws well. And we've seen Derek Culver come out and be able to knock some shots down, but Shibwe struggled from that 15-foot line. It'll get better, as all the rest of his game will. That's Jensen.
63% from the free throw line. He is 5 for 7 in this game. Alatishe is checked into the game, and Osaboyan derbies himself, gets it up. There's McNeil back to Napper, long three, too strong. And there's Osaboyan again, starts it on the one end, comes up with the rebound on the defensive end. Or offensive end, I beg your pardon. Napper spins out of trouble. McNeil thought about it, will pull from closer in. Just misses, and Alatishe up ahead to Jones. Jones has it blocked by McNeil.
Wow.
And the crowd loving that.
I thought Sheboy was going to be the one that got it, but wow. McNeil with a great block.
Well, we just caught the lower end of that. Oh, yeah.
Good call. Good block. You know, McNeil, every time he shoots, it looks like it's going to go in.
It sure does. He's got a pretty
He's
stroke.
got that good stroke, good form. Look like they're all going to go in.
Shanahan in trouble. Gets it to Hunter. Off the mark. Spinning away. Inside. Sheboy for the jam.
Things are coming unraveled right now for Nicholls.
Good. This crowd has been with the Mountaineers every step of the way in this game. Three-pointer off the mark by Hunter. There's Sheboy with a rebound as he has his 5th double-double of the season.
He and Culver both with double-doubles.
Now for Sheboy. Napper, three-pointer, too strong. Rebound to McBride, and Nicholls looks like they're beginning to wear down.
Yeah, our Napper had no rhythm on his shot just now, though. I don't think he was ready to shoot that. He caught it and just kind of pushed it up. And you can see the end results, but McBride there to clean things up.
Timeout.
Austin Claunch wants a timeout, then indicates to the officials that he wants a full timeout. Talk things over with his team, give him a little bit of a rest. The rebound advantage is stretched to 15 for the Mountaineers. The bench has been a huge factor. Again, we figured with Kevin Johnson not playing the point guard for the Nicholls Colonels, that the bench, which is the strength of the Mountaineers anyway, was going to play out as an even larger strength it has so far in this game. So nothing really has surprised, I think, including the fact that Nicholls has hung with West Virginia for most of this game.
Well, yes, they have. And, you know, I'm sure Austin Claunch was saying just now, hey, guys, we played these guys pretty tough. Let's not just go crazy here and have this thing end up being a 25-point ball game. We've hung with them better than that today. Let's settle down. Go ahead, you know, let's see if we still have 4.5 minutes. We've come back on people before. Let's do that.
It was Kevin Johnson on the bench, a concussion earlier this week in practice. A local guy from Thibodaux, Louisiana, which is the home of Nicholls, and had made 70 consecutive starts before missing today's start. As we see McBride missed a free throw. There's Kevin Johnson, and they want to get him back for conference play. A guy that not only sets the table for them by leading him in assists offensively, but 2.5 steals per game, really is a big part of their pressure defense. And it's been a big factor for Nicholls. And they're going to be an interesting team to watch in the Southland Conference this year. There's the pass back, and McClanahan just can't get it going today. Alatishe with the finish.
Nobody on Alatishe, and that was an easy catch and put back. You know, you talk about the depth with this West Virginia team. Jermaine Haley has not hit the floor today, coach's decision. And the Mountaineers, I mean, Haley is a very important part of this basketball team, and the Mountaineers have strolled right along.
personal foul on Moore away from the basket. Look at Jermaine Haley watching on, and he's watched Oscar Tshiebwe turn in another impressive performance. 5th double-double for the freshman McDonald's All-American. He has 15 points, he has 11 rebounds, and he has the monster slams coming at you. The Mountaineers up 73-56. How about 15 points, 11 rebounds for the freshman Oscar Tshiebwe?
You know, he got off to just a little bit of a slow start. He was quiet for a while, but I tell you what, this young man, I can't wait to see him in Big 12 action, because I think he's going to really surprise some people by just how talented he is. They know he wasn't, McDonald's All-American, but I don't know if the rest of the league is ready for him yet.
Gets quick off the floor. Again, the dynamic duo of he and Culver. Culver 14 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 15 and 11 for Tshiebwe. It's going to be a lot for people to handle in the Big 12.
Oh, it most certainly is, especially if West Virginia can get the perimeter game going like they have been. And it's going to be tough for them to stop guys, because West Virginia will either throw it inside and then kick it back out, or throw it inside, shoot it, and dunk it.
By the way, sad day, my friend.
Our
last basketball game at AT&T Sportsnet.
Oh, man, I've appreciated you guys letting me do this 5, 6, 7 times a year, man. I'm going to miss it.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great fun. The Big 12 taking over all the these non-conference games that we've been able to pick up, and we've enjoyed it so much.
Yes, we have.
It's been great becoming friends with you over the stretch of this, and our fantastic crew that. Hopefully people can see that really talented guys, that a lot of guys that work on the pit and Pirates crews, the men and women in our truck, and the great job that they do, the talented people. Roger Lenhart, our producer, yes. Pete Tome, our director today. I want to shout out to Matt Williams, who you heard Robbie sort of mentioned inadvertently earlier when talking to Matt Williams. We see Matthews finish, and we wish Matt a speedy recovery in his fight right now that he has going on. And love you, Matt, and can't wait to see you back at work.
I agree. Did well, Matt. Hang in there, buddy.
It's been a wonderful experience. From the coaching staff to everybody involved at West Virginia Athletics. Give a shout out to Brian Messerly, certainly the SID, and all the people from the people that greet you at the door to the ushers. Everybody really has been super friendly. It's just been a great experience. McClanahan just cannot find it today. The defense early, he never could find a rhythm.
No, West Virginia did that. 3 guys were on him today, starting out. My goodness, I thought they did a good job. They with Harler starting on him, and then we saw McBride on him, and then Napper's been on him. He's just had different people in his face all day, and he's never been able to get on track.
By the way, as we count this game down, and now a 23-point lead, looking forward to the final walk-off interview with Robbie and Coach Huggins. That could get interesting and worth sticking around for, as Osa Boyan got bonked on the head.
Yeah, took a... a lot of people misunderstand the relationship that Robbie and Bob have.
Oh.
I've had a lot of people say, does he really hate him that much?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no, it's the exact opposite.
It's the exact opposite. You're right.
I certainly want to thank Coach Huggins, the rest of the coaching staff, who've really been very welcoming to our entire crew. Longtime friend of yours as well.
Oh, my.
Steal, and now Culver is going to finish.
There is a highlight reel today.
Now this crowd has been behind West Virginia all game long. I think they know they're not going to play for about a month or so, and they're really getting into it here.
Hugs is going to call a timeout, I think, to get Spencer Mack in. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. These guys are going to do everything they can to try to get Spencer a shot and try to get him to knock one down. The team will absolutely explode if he scores. He's had a couple of looks, but he just hadn't had a chance to knock one down. Prolific scorer in high school.
And Culver came over and said, hey, tuck your shirt in, huh?
Look like you belong. Wake up.
That's, you just looking out for him, that's all.
Okay, let's see. They're going to set some screens for him. All right, he comes off a double screen. Nope.
I don't think Alatiche wants to see him score. He said, not on my watch, he's not scoring. I mean, he is defending him hard. Moynihan back the other way, lost the handle, out of bounds. It'll be Nicholls basketball with 1:15 remaining. Are they going to call a personal foul here? So, oh no, a technical foul. Technical foul has been called on Moynihan. The game is walking back down to shoot the technical.
That's just that frustration he said the entire day. Oh, that's Spencer. Spencer at the line.
Remember, in West Virginia, the bench is telling him, quiet down now.
Yeah. Emmett Matthews telling the crowd to be quiet. Look at him, he's got his finger up. Shh.
The bench, the crowd, everybody on the bench standing.
Anything but an air ball. If he misses it, please hit the rim. I think they'll both go.
I mean, did they just win the national championship, or did Spencer Mack just make a couple free throws? Oh, that's an awesome reaction.
Well, like Bob Huggins said, an official came over and said, you know what, I think these guys all like each other. Well, you know what, there you go. The bench is as excited as the guys are that are on the court. That's great to see.
And the student section with the MVP chant behind us. Everybody getting into it. Great moment. And as you mentioned, yeah, you can tell how close this team is. This is a team that lost 5 of their top 6 scorers from last year, Bacon.
Yeah.
Now, that began to transition as the season went on. So Emmett Matthews, Jermaine Haley, who we haven't seen today. Some other guys were able to sort of step forward and take a leadership role. But the cohesion that this team, Sheboy and others, have grafted onto quickly in this season has led to a lot of optimism for the Mountaineers, who are maybe 9-1 here after the next minute of play. Sheboy with a personal foul.
Yeah.
Osaboyan, I beg your pardon, is going to get the call. Osaboyan with a foul. And Osaboyan has fouled out of the game. And Logan Rout will come in. Osaboyan will head out. There's Spencer Mack.
Logan Rout, checked in for the Mountaineers.
Chase, forget this.
Chase Harler doing a little coach. He said, Spencer, you got to get back on defense.
Lyon's going to try the three-pointer. Scrambled, and again, I will say this for Austin Conch. I think he's going to be happy with the battle level this team brought to this game. I mean, they just kind of, again, down, you don't want to make excuses for him, down a body, a starter in Kevin Johnson who plays big minutes for him, and able to hang it. This was a game till about, what, 8 minutes, 9 minutes
yes.
left in the game? And a toe-to-toe game, not a we're lucky to be in this game, a battle. Tom Claymont has checked in, by the way, for Nicholls. Angelo Hunter out. Led Nicholls with 14 points in this game. Hunter did in his return to West Virginia. Three-pointer, oh, in and out. Matthews looks for him. Mack a little behind the back and now looking for some help. Boy, Matthews really trying to feed him. Mack's having fun, playing with his smile. Oh, nice block by Matthews, and they're going to get the personal foul late underneath as Matthews once again showing that athleticism, going up and blocking the dunk attempt by the 6'10" Lions.
But you know, that tells you a little bit about Emmett Matthews. He gets that rebound. The first thing he does is start looking for the guy that's ever at practice every day and has to go through everything. He wanted him to score again.
Lyons makes the first. The Mountaineers will improve to 9-1 in the season. Nicholls will drop to 6-5, but again, it's been a rugged non-conference slate, and I figure they're going to come in with some pretty good feelings heading into Southland Conference play.
Well, West Virginia with a big game with Youngstown State, and then go to Ohio State, which is going to be one that people are going to mark on the calendar.
Absolutely. We're going to let Mack hold the ball as the clock expires. And the Mountaineers claim their 9th victory of the season. 83-57 will be the score. That's what people will be looking at. It will be deceptive because this game was closer than that.
Yes, it was. That was a game effort that Nicholls put out there first half, and even coming back the second half. Bob Huggins with a big hug for D'Angelo Hunter. That's great to see.
Looking forward to the final walk-off interview on our air with Bob Huggins and Robbie and Smikowski. He's kind of working his way over towards our camera position, and Robbie has borrowed some equipment for this final interview as the Mountaineers win 83-57 to improve to 9-1 in the season. Let's go over to Robbie and Coach Huggins.
You could see I dressed for the occasion. Who wore it better, me or you?
It looks pretty good on you. Not sure the purple underneath of it, but it looks pretty good on you.
I would agree. You create a lot of separation in the second half. What did you like about what your team did in the second half?
Well, we played. We were just kind of standing around, weren't very aggressive. Derek kind of came to life, and you know, whenever he really wants to play, he's a load to stop down there.
When you look at he and Oscar together as you head toward conference play here in a couple weeks, Bob, what presence can they be, and how lucky are you, not lucky, but just how excited are you to have those two down low?
Well, we got a long way to go. I mean, we need our interior passing needs to get a whole lot better. But I want to say I appreciate y'all for. I mean, this is the last telecast, and you guys have been absolutely phenomenal. And I want you to know how much we appreciate you.
Bob, you're a good man. We really appreciate it. A lot of people may mischaracterize yours and my relationship. I appreciate all the chop busting you've given me over the years. Thank you very much for that.
All in good fun.
Hold on. I got a gift for you. I left in the pocket, okay? Here, this is for you. You want to tell everybody what that is?
Yeah, it's hair gel.
You going to use it?
I don't put this stuff, you'd put this stuff in your hair. I don't put it in mine.
Well, good, because you're not getting this pullover back anyways.
Well, you were going to take it back anyway after the camera's off, so.
Bob, you're the best. We appreciate your cooperation. You're a great team partner. You've been very good to us with the access, your generosity, and we're all thankful. All of us wanted me, everybody in our crew here wanted me to pass that forward to you, so thank you.
Well, we really appreciate you, so thank you.
Hey, try being honest sometime, okay?
Okay, we'll do it.
There it is. Bob Huggins, the one and only, one of the best ever. What do you think? Hold on, Rob and Warren, how do I look?
Wow, you do.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
Is that a good Bob impression or what? What do you think?
I think so.
Hey, we might have a bobblehead coming your way.
He might not. He really is not getting this pullover back.
No, I won't.
Stay out of my closet, okay, guys?
We didn't doubt it for 1 second, Robbie. Not for 1 second. Mountaineers winning 83-57 to improve to 9-1. Big once again. Want to thank you. It's been a great run. I've enjoyed every second of it, my friend.
Oh man, you're going to have me with the golf ball in my throat here in a few minutes. It has been a tremendous run, and I love being with you guys.
Well, the Mountaineers improved to 9-1 on the season. We're signing off for the final time in our wild and wonderful coverage of West Virginia athletics on AT&T Sportsnet. Double-doubles from Over and Sheboy, an 83-57 victory over Nicholls. Once again, for our final time, for Warren Baker, Robbie and Smikowski, our entire terrific crew at AT&T Sportsnet, I'm Rob King. Thanks for watching Wild and Wonderful Basketball on AT&T Sportsnet.